In this video, I'm going to explain to you the transport of lipoproteins in our body, specifically the lipid transport system. Let me first discuss how chylomicrons are formed. Next is where exogenous pathway starts, then the endogenous pathway, and lastly the transport of high-density lipoprotein cholesterol. Let's start with the dietary fat. The salivary lipase will break it down into free fatty acids, monoglycerides, and cholesterol. The free fatty acids, monoglycerides, and cholesterol will go to esophagus, then to the stomach, and next to the small intestine. The small intestine will organize them into fat globules. As the liver recognizes them, it will release some bile salts to break these fat globules to make it into surface-optimized fat droplets. The pancreas will release pancreatic lipase to break surface-optimized fat droplets into full versions of the free fatty acids, monoglycerides, and cholesterol. This will then combine to micelles, which are molecules in a colloidal solution, and will be absorbed by the small intestine through its enterocytes. The monoglycerides and free fatty acids are combined, forming triglycerides or triacylglycerols. The intestinal absorption of triglycerides and cholesterol is the starting point of exogenous pathway. The triglycerides and cholesterol will be reesterified in the intestinal mucosal cells, forming lipoprotein particles called chylomicrons. From dietary fat or dietary lipids, which goes through the stomach and absorbed by the intestine, and now combined to chylomicrons. The chylomicron will transport triglycerides from gastrointestinal or GI tract to the liver. It will travel through lymph and enter the blood. Chylomicrons carry dietary triglycerols to fat cells or muscles. The fatty acids then pass through the capillary endothelial cells and reach adipocytes for storage. The stored triacylglycerols will travel through the heart and then the body. The enzymes will break off fatty acids from triglycerides and deliver them to cells, and as oxidation process happens, the fatty acids will be converted into energy. So, the chylomicrons, which carry dietary triglycerols to fat cells or muscles, undergo oxidation for energy. The chylomicron remnants are then delivered to the liver. These remnants are formed after the removal of triglyceride core. The cholesterol in the liver is then converted into bile acids, excreted in bile, or incorporated into VLDL, or very low density lipoproteins. So, the liver breaks down remaining triglycerides to remake them. It also makes cholesterol and other triglycerides. The liver is constantly synthesizing triglycerides, or triacylglycerols, then packaged with proteins to make VLDL. VLDL and LDL are low-density lipoproteins carry triglycerols, triglycerides, and some cholesterol from the liver to adipose tissues and muscles. Triglycerides are hydrolyzed and removed by lipoprotein lipase, resulting to free fatty acids for storage in adipose tissue or oxidation in cardiac tissue or muscle. The remnants of hydrolysis are IDL, or intermediate density lipoproteins, which can be transported to the liver or converted into LDL, or low density lipoproteins. Density goes up as the fats leave the transport protein. In simple manner, VLDL becomes LDL when it loses fatty acids. Since there is only the loss of fatty acids, which means to say LDL is now high in cholesterol. And when the excess cholesterol falls off, it will be deposited on artery walls, making it as plaque, which narrows arteries. To reverse the transport of cholesterol, the HDL or high density lipoprotein picks up cholesterol from the plaques and other lipids back to liver for recycling or excretion. The liver will release bile salts in the intestine for elimination of cholesterol. In conclusion, the lipid transport system involved two pathways. The exogenous pathway for the transport of cholesterol and triglycerides absorbed from dietary lipid or dietary fat in the intestine, and the endogenous pathways through which cholesterol and triglycerides reach plasma from the liver and other non-intestinal tissues. That would be all for the lipid transport system. Thank you.